where we had left off is, well, there's a reason why Noralai looks kind of bonkers, and that is because she is super suffused with magic right now. She's sort of drunk on the fabric of reality. I don't know what you'd want to call it. Like, just it's not even
a hit of the weed.
Yeah, kind of. It's it's a she had a one with everything too many, and I guess she found a form of enlightenment here, which is interesting because of all of you, she was the biggest doubter, and yet here she is, having her mind expanded into the universe before any of you.
The sky is green.
Yeah, we're having a Namek here. The sky is green and the grass is blue. This was also brought around because Celine was wanting to reach the top of the mountain where there is an old pagoda tower in hopes of, well, seeing what's there and maybe even finding a character known as Regal. And wouldn't you know it, boy howdy, you did in fact ascend into the pagoda, and therein you had a conversation. Although I'm trying to, I think it's because I had it elsewhere. All right, anyway, it's fine. We're not gonna have to revisit because you made your way up, you made your way in. There was a heckin' concern for Noralai, leaving Bright and Mordecai behind to try and treat her because she was rambling, maybe living scenes of her life as names or places were spilling forth from her lips. Celine, you went further into that, not even necessarily a derelict place, just a incomplete one. It wasn't falling apart or, necessarily an architectural hazard. It just started being built and was never finished. And then it was just kind of left that way. But also not unattended. You approached a triangle that was hovering in the middle of this place, and where it touched the reflection in the floor, you found yourself on the other side and talking with Regal. Regal, if you believe him, is not only the supposed head of this place, but a celestial not unlike you, and one who, also not unlike you, has been feeding off of the time of other people. Whereas, Celine, you have had a more singular diet of Mordecai, Regal has for centuries nibbled just a little bit off of all of the people who have come here to this place, to this monastery. And you had a conversation with someone who revealed himself to be one of the 3 lost princes of Old Shadowhar. You know the location of at least one other one, as he makes his circuitous route across the inner sea of Mesotopia aboard Lellywelland's Gamble. You had a conversation about moving on or the fear of doing so, and that for as much as Regal has been around and may very well have ancient knowledge and a different insight into the things that are happening, he's never apparently been able to commit. He's never really done something with all of this knowledge, all of this power of this place. He's simply found a way to exist in some kind of in-between for a very long time.
He subsists and nothing more. What a shame.
And in some way, maybe Bright, upon hearing Celine's report, might have actually been able to identify with Regal in that regard. And so too even the other prince. You didn't really get a name, but also considering it's an animated skeleton, it might be a little difficult to do. But there was a challenge or a piece of advice or one last riddle. And not all riddles have to be super complex and, you know, a mystery wrapped in an enigma. It was simply, what is the meaning of this place, is what was posited. And upon descending the mountain to go to the central pool that exists in the middle of the monastery, there was a reflection upon that question. And the name of this place itself, as it is called, Neutzelfer fo Fliceno, which is a reflection of oneself. Near the edge of the pool. Oh, very good, Miller. Speaking of liches and undeath, Miller, that's an awesome set. That's an awesome set.
For the epic encounter set that came in today.
Bright ended up peering into the pool and sort of fell into her own reflection, especially through that eye that she has, that she had returned from Oiho. As she has an eye with a pupil and an eye without. And for any of you who've been hanging out with us in our roleplay sessions, did you ever notice that? Were you there for when she described it? Or have you noticed it at all in her art? Obviously the more recent after the Hell arc, but just so you know, it almost looks like there's a little crystal ball floating around in her noggin. So Bright ended up falling into the pool, into herself, her vision, and I'm going to play something for you all because this is what she saw.
Sooner than memories begin to fray, everything from the past just swept away. Many seasons I have seen. Time has washed them away, just like the sea. So many fates and dreams will become tragedies. To see you safe, to watch you grow, visions of love, my only such loneliness is worth the price. I'll protect you with my life.
Now, what could that mean? Are those literal visions? Are those a guaranteed future to come? Possibilities? What is the connection to any of these? What did the scenes mean with the song, the music? And we will get to Bright in a moment, because I need to find out, outside of this series of portents, of futures, realities, visions, what is going on. And we will reemerge back on the scene. Celine, Norelai, and Mordecai, and a handful of other monks who are going about their usual business, as you'll always find here, at all hours. Bright has disappeared into the pool, and if it is for better or worse, she's not drowning, at least not in a traditional fashion, because she's really not in the water. Like, you don't see her body either floating or descending down into the water. She went into it, there was almost really no splash, and she sort of faded into darkness.
So we saw her go into the pool?
Yes, you all had descended down the mountain, and I mean, you might have been caring for Norelai, so I don't know if everyone saw her approach and.
I didn't see a thing.
Well, yeah. So Norelai is not quite.
I'm not here. I'm not mentally here.
Yeah, she's currently in the state of freedom, imprisonment. It's all an illusion. As I said, I think as was mentioned last session, it would be absolutely hilarious if it just, in one of the many drug-like trip-induced visions that Norelai is seeing, is that there's just a white background and Cypher just there's a floating Cypher off in the distance, and he just looks to her and waves. But no, Celine, for her part in this, is simply watching the pool.
Okay.
She doesn't look like she's exceptionally concerned. She's just watching the pool.
Okay. Mordecai, you're kind of piloting for Norelai right now, since you've been having to try and heft her around. What are you doing then? Celine, it looks like she's here watching the waters. Not that you can't either, or if there's something, if you want to try and seek some help at the infirmary here, you can. Some guidance or medicine from the other monks.
Mordecai looks more concerned than Celine does in that moment. Should we go in after her? Like, what
If
possessed her to
no,
go
if
into the
she's-
pool?
If she's not back in 5 minutes, I'll go in there after her.
5 minutes, she'll drown.
I think, and I can probably tell you this from being rather certain about it, that this isn't regular water. So, no, I don't think she will.
What? Then what kind of water would it be? Is
Consider
there
the
other kinds of
questions.
water besides regular water?
Consider the questions. What is the meaning of this place?
The meaning of this place?
Yes, where we are. Where we were when Norway, you know.
This place is meant to ask questions, even if you don't get your answers.
Yeah, consider that for a moment. When you ask questions, what are you doing?
Questioning? Thinking? Analyzing?
Alright, and what if those questions have a target? Something you've done, something you've seen. You, even.
I mean, there's lots of questions about lots of different things. I kind of came here with the intention to find Mercury.
Yes, we came here with the intention to find Mercury. But I would posit to you that there's a second meaning to all of this, between Noralai being, well, having her brain melt out of her ears.
Ew.
It's not literally melting out of her ears, is it?
No, not literally, metaphorically speaking. But that's the thing, right? They speak in metaphors and everything like that. And to
Right.
solve things,
Mm-hmm.
you do much as this water does. You reflect.
Is there a lot of reflection that we have to do?
More
I
than
may
you'd
not
expect,
know-
less than you'd think. But there's
I may not
there's
know
there's
anything
an
about what's
additional-
going on with us,
Well, there's
but I know what
additional
we have to
consideration.
do.
Just because you know what you have to do doesn't mean you know what the path is to walk to get to that result. But I'd like to pose to you another consideration.
Shoot.
This place is a mountaintop spring that causes waterfalls and rivers to flow across Mezamaska. It's a source without a source.
Huh.
Where else have we seen odd water flows?
Well, there was that underground temple. There
Where else?
was the waterfall
Where else?
where Tazra got swept away. The Fey Cave?
I believe this water source leads to something beneath.
Again, should we go after her? don't like the idea of her being in danger.
Dad.
Hmm?
What was that, Norlai?
Dead.
Dead.
All dead.
What are you talking about? We're not dead. Nobody here is dead. No.
All dead.
I mean, technically, we all have at least once.
Celine, whilst Mordecai is speaking, is going to get up and move over to the edge of the water. Not entering, just moving over the edge.
Okay.
He's going to look in.
Ish. Oh, oh, oh.
Fish. I'm very confused.
What is it that I see in the reflection?
That's an excellent question to ask, and I don't have that answer because I need to cut over to Bright and find out what is going on in
Oh.
her world.
All right, yeah.
So we will leave the three of you on the shore of this pond, and Bright, you have fallen into this water and continue to descend. Though there's no accumulation of pressure. In fact, there's really even no stress on your lungs or anything after maybe an initial clenching up of immersion. As you find yourself surrounded by darkness. This doesn't have to be you, but we'll just say that there's a little mote of you floating around right now. You don't have to be in your bright skull form if you don't wish. But you do almost have that sense of flight or freedom, with the exception of where is there to go, as there's nothing here except yourself. The spotlight of directionless light that causes no shadow is on you.
Huh. Hello? Hello? Sorry, my Aquan is atrocious.
There is no reply to your attempts to speak Aquan or a shouting out to the area.
Well, let's try floating around a little bit.
Okay. You float. There's kind of a sense of direction.
Is it the familiar 6 directions or new fun directions?
These are new fun directions scattered amidst any of the traditional ones that you have enjoyed. in your prior existence.
Well, that'll be fun. So let's go. We'll try spinning around a little bit. See if the light looks any different.
Sure.
Hello?
As you do, you have interesting feelings of going backwards and forwards at the same time, which is also almost like an up and to the left feeling thrown in for the mix. Despite your movement, though, the light source doesn't change. There's no shadows that move. So it is a more free, but still a bit of a familiar feeling. It's just that you have a couple more options than when you were here.
I'm stuck in a screensaver. Are there flying toasters nearby?
There are no apparent flying toasters. There might be
well.
able to be, if you desire. You saw some interesting things happen in the extension of the temple atop the mountain.
Yeah, I sure did. Wasn't that interesting? Boy, I'm used to having portents and visions, but usually they don't come, in IMAX with Dolby surround sound. That's different. We'll think about that. I mean, it makes sense, really. I mean, it's a lot of it is just stuff that's already happened, and then I don't know. A lot of things make sense. I mean, this is fancy water. It's magic water. And we've seen lots of magic water before. I mean, the water in the Fey Cave.
Mm-hmm.
That was how they communicated, and that was how they sent their messages. And this water is kind of the same. I mean, it also communicates messages in its own way. Maybe not messages we like, but hey, that's how messages are. You don't always like them. So, okay, so let's do more experiments. Let's just spin just to the right and see what happens.
You feel as if you turn to the right. Nothing is denying that feeling, maybe except the obvious senses, as nothing appears to pivot or shift around you as you turn.
Well, we had a way where we could go up and to the left, which was also forward. So let's try up, left, forward.
Okay.
Up for leftward? Up for leftward. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Up for leftward.
Whee!
Your maneuverability's on point, but you don't seem to be getting anywhere for it. You have maybe it would be accurate to say you have direction but no movement. Or maybe movement but no direction. You're missing one of these two vital things. Despite you being able to sense both, they don't seem to actually be joined.
I wonder if it's metaphorical. I bet it is. Because, like, when you think about how you say those things metaphorically, somebody could have direction but no movement. Like, they know what they want to do, but they're not making any progress. Or they could have movement but no direction, like they're doing things and, stuff is happening to them, but there's no purpose to it. So, maybe that's the answer here. I don't know. We'll see. For now, though, not really making a lot of progress. Hello? Hello? Hello?
reply.
Hello? I mean, whoever brought me here, it's not very polite to bring me here and then just keep me waiting like this.
Who did bring you here?
Okay. I mean, I don't really know. Maybe it was Regal. Maybe it was somebody. Usually a place like this is where we talk to Mercury, but she's not here, and that's just as well. I don't really want to talk to her right now. We're not on
Mercury
the best of
and
terms.
Mercury and.
Well, I mean, we've talked to. It's usually turned out to be Mercury, even when we thought it was somebody else.
Yeah. Although, with that being said, if you are in fact in a different place, there's something distinctly different about you being here as compared to when you've tried to be in other places magically.
I mean, there's no hair here, as far as I
Yeah.
can tell, if that's what you mean.
There isn't.
But that's normal. I mean, usually when we come to the empty place, there's not hair. And there's not always hair. Sometimes there is, and sometimes there's not. Although it does seem to have been getting worse.
It has been. And it hasn't even just been teleportation. There's been another infestation of these black tendrils as well, if you recall.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because usually I can at least go into the ethereal plane, but last time I tried that, of course, I was in the Fey Cave, so maybe things were different, but even so, uh-oh. Sorry, I thought I heard something behind me, but it turns out it was just a dog of my imagination. I imagined a dog. He's very fuzzy. Okay, yeah. Well, let me see. I don't have my character sheet up right now. Let me fix that. Did not come prepared to class.
Do you really even need your character sheet? Maybe if you took
I need a
notes,
little bit.
you might want your character sheet. But
Okay, so let's see what we can do here. So I had direction but no movement. And so now I need to find a way to get movement. And they're separate here. So I'm sorry, I need to.
Just
that's fine. What we can do?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Celine.
Okay, I think he stopped. But yeah, you can go ahead and cut away. That's fine because.
Okay, yeah,
I
a
have
quick
to
cutaway.
Anyway.
Yep. So Mordecai is caring for Norelai, who is murmuring something. So Mordecai, you would hear what was typed in chat. Celine, you are more focused in what is appearing, and very faintly as you are peering into the waters, there's what you would see would almost be what we see on the screen. It would be all like a little pink comet or a little pink dot. Might even look like dancing fire, but that could just be the ripples in the water making her image, because she has that big bright pink hair, look kind of distorted or wavy. But there's some kind of a floundering, not a panic. It doesn't look like there's an attack or distress or flailing, but it's just kind of a meandering in the dark waters.
Mordecai,
Yes?
if I am not back in 5 minutes, follow me.
Hey, thanks,
Wait.
bye.
Wait. Hang on.
And she's gonna walk into the water.
Celine.
Celine, you walk into the water and you fall into the water and are drenched. And you float to the surface of the water.
There's some silence before Celine. She's floating. She kind of just floats up on her back and
Elaine can't swim.
she looks at Mordecai. Okay, now this is some bullshit. I can see her down there.
What did you expect was gonna happen?
Exactly what happened to Bright, but apparently not. It's too much to ask if the same thing happened twice if you do the same thing. Definition of insanity and all that.
Same thing. Over and over.
But I suppose it doesn't matter. And she actually rests her head back and closes her eyes, just seeming to reflect. Also, puppy. Just seeming to mentally reflect in the weightlessness of floating on top of the water.
I think Norali's called for us to get picked up.
Okay,
So we need to get Bright out of there.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't know how.
You don't happen to have a detect magic ready today, do you?
I've already used it once.
Here?
Magic.
Like right now?
It was on the mountain, which is why it glowed with magnitudes of, like, primal, raw stuff of magic. It didn't have a flavor to it.
Okay. They have crowd the dog.
While you are pondering this and talking, we're going to go back beneath the ripples. Bright, it has been some time. You are in your own faculty, but there's really been nothing that marks the passing of any known time. You haven't gotten any weaker or like, oh, wizard hungry, needs food badly. There's really been nothing to mark the exhaustion of effort or thought or the replenishment of energy. There's been no biological need to breathe or to eliminate or anything along those lines.
Well, that's good. Wizard only needs food badly in other games. Okay. So let's I don't know. I want to repeat what I did the first time when I felt like I had that sense. Maybe I can get pay close attention and maybe get a sense of what I'm doing that can cause it.
The sense of this weird direction or what?
Yeah. See if I can, because it seemed like it was different when I tried it the second time.
Okay. Sure.
It wasn't different. It just wasn't working as well.
Roll an Arcana.
You said I wouldn't need my character sheet.
I'm not necessitating you to do this. You're the one prompting me.
Well, it's green.
Wow, that is in fact a green number. That is a 31, everyone. Various thoughts and connections are coming to mind. as this is a place of, well, you went from a great height now into a depth. There's probably this self-same raw magic that permeates this place as it did above. And just as you can imagine yourself turning upwards to the left, but also simultaneously going in reverse, and you're achieving that, uh, this is more a place of the mind. This is a place, maybe a place to deeply think about things in a very literal sense. You were at the top of a mountain, at the tip of a magical battery, in a sense, and now you are immersed in these waters that aren't water, at least not beneath the thin surface. This is a place of mind, imagination. This is a place of, well, you were able to be here as you had contemplated what it was that Regal had given to Celine to pass on to you. What is the purpose of Noit Selfer Fo Flaceno? Which was the reflection of oneself. This is an entire place meant to ask questions. This is a place to not necessarily seek answers, but to find questions to ask. To challenge the way that you think. How is it that you got rid of nothing? It had not, and that in itself had nothing to do with acquiring things. It was get rid of nothingness, and therefore you've gotten rid of nothing. In this case, nothing was treated as a something. And, especially with those nice bright green numbers, there was something else as well that could be pondered or remembered and brought up. You had been spending your time looking for someone or for a place that has been unable to be found, at least through magic. Could you instead look for a place where this person isn't instead? And with that thought, connected with teleportation, the ethereal plane, you remember that especially when you were by very busy cities, not so much out in the wilderness, or like if you're scrying on a busy place, there were those tendrils that would manifest in your crystal ball, not unlike what you saw wrap up Jade in your vision. But whether as a place or a vision, here, wherever here is, doesn't seem to have that problem.
Yeah.
This is somehow baffling or escaping this pervasive hindrance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a lot of interesting information there. Hmm.
And you are in a nexus of raw magic. or something like magic enough it can be detected with it.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of. I mean, I don't even know if I should be trying to get out or trying to find something. It's just so much nothingness that it doesn't really seem immediately useful to be here. There's no one here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to move. There's nothing to interact with. There's very. I mean, it's interesting that this place is here and it's relaxing, but it's also not. I mean, there's nothing here. So yeah. And I don't want to do anything too rash. I'm going to cast a firebolt. Not at anything in particular.
Sure.
Maybe I should have chosen something less damaging, but we'll see.
Okay. A fiery streak manifests, and really, you've cast that spell more than a couple times by this point in your life, Bright. And
Yeah.
all you really had to do was consider the firebolt, and it had already manifested and flown off as a firework of sorts. It didn't really hit against anything, and it didn't cause any water to boil, but it was the perfect firebolt. It was your ideal firebolt. And you didn't have to say anything. You didn't make any gestures. You had to really not draw on any sort of components or an arcane focus. It just happened.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for it to work like that. Okay. Now we're in the realm of things that I can more easily cope with. I'm going to try something just a little bit stronger. I'm going to try to cast. I'll cast a locate creature.
Okay.
So there are probably no creatures nearby. So that's part of why I'm interested in trying this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to locate a creature that is I'm just gonna try to locate the nearest tiefling. See what happens.
Okay. There is no return on your spell. The spell has manifested and in however Bright feels or envisions it, whether it's sort of like a magical, what we would call like a radar sweep, or like a bubble that expands off you into not infinity, but for the range, or but you are finding that there's nothing.
Maybe I should have cast something a little more predictable. Yeah, I think I get the understanding of how this works. Now the question is just, what can I do with it, if anything? Okay. I mean, I don't wanna ruin it. I don't wanna break it. but I also don't want to be stuck in here forever. Let me see if I could cast a spell I don't have prepared. Let me see if I can cast Detect Magic. I'm gonna, not as a ritual, just as casting it, which I don't have prepared.
Sure. The spell goes off, or rather the effects of it occur, because for a moment it's almost like you are now immersed in water. Not that you are drowning or there's any wetness or detriment to you, but it would appear that everywhere there is. Though you didn't have to prepare it, there was no components, no gestures, notes or drawings or anything. No incense.
Alright, now we're getting somewhere. I like this font of pure magic business. That's fun. Okay. Stuff is happening. Did my locate creature consume a spell slot?
No, none of these have.
Okay, that's good to know. Now I'm
There-
feeling
you-
a little better.
You have no capacity for magic. Whatever it feels like to you, Bright, any limitations, any whatever fatigue your body experiences, or however it is that Bright internalizes or even externally manifests, sort of a burnout or an exhaustion or a tapping of your energies, it is not here. You are not limited
Okay.
here.
Now I'm feeling lots of good stuff. Okay. So now I feel like I can probably get home. I just don't know if I want to. I kind of like it here. I mean, look at all the. Okay, so none of my friends are here, and that's kind of a bummer. But maybe they could join us. Or join me. Maybe they could. Maybe they could come in the pool. I wonder if any of them have tried that.
It's a good question.
Well, this is gonna be interesting. I hope this doesn't go horribly wrong, because you know how that is, and you know that I'm a risk taker when I feel like it's worth it, and there's nobody here to stop me. Haha.
That's right. There is very literally no one here to stop you. Also, no one here to
I'm gonna
impress.
I'm gonna cast Contact Other Plane. I want to talk to Weejazz.
Okay. You cast this spell, and you
I
are.
have to make a save. Unless
You
you don't want me to make the save.
don't need to. As the spell goes off, you speak into your own ears.
Okay. Well, now that's creepy. That's creepy. The only time that's ever happened before is when I was stuck in the Oiho maze. I wonder if that's a coincidence. I hope it's not, because been there, done that. And I would have gotten the t-shirt, but I couldn't wear it on account of no body. So let's not go through that again. Also, I was there for like 20,000 years, and we just don't have time for that this time.
Yeah. For all you know, your friends are just dead on the shore of this lake already. Who knows how long it's been?
Well, I imagine they would have gone somewhere else. Not lived out the rest of their natural lives on the shore. But maybe, the monastery's pretty nice, but I seem to be the only one that thinks that. Okay, Great. So contact other plane, not the ideal choice right now. I do have two. I have two aces up my sleeve. Not cheating. They're just they just happen to be there. But I don't want to use them just yet. I want other things to try first. Okay, so the next thing I want to try is a spell that I haven't actually cast, but I have learned, which is Foresight.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Foresight on myself.
Okay. Okay. You are not surprised that you cast this spell on yourself.
That's good to know.
You knew you were going to do it, and it happened.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like it in here. Okay. Alright. Well, I guess it's getting about time to go home. Now the real question is just how can I come back here again? Is there any kind of like memento or relic or I don't know. Maybe I can manifest something. I want to see if I can do something. You might not let me do it, but we'll see. I want to use fabricate to try to form an object of some type. I'm not particular about what. It can just be like a little blob, for all I care, out of the magical essence of this place. On the assumption that it might be able to be treated as a raw material.
There is nothing here to fabricate.
Okay.
The creative energies manifested. There's just nothing here to fabricate.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to find a way to take some of this with me. Or can I make another arcana? I want to try to find out if this is in some way connected to Norali's wild magic.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. And then what we'll do, almost a 30, not a 31, you know. All right. I'm going to pop up above water and check in with the crew while you are contemplating things.
Okay.
And we're going to come back to you all.
Blub. Blub, blub.
It has certainly been longer than 5 minutes. Celine is wet but drying off at a normal pace at the edge of the water. Noralai is still kind of blup blup.
Blub, blub. Right. Drown.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Celine.
I don't think she's gone. Just give her some time, you know?
What do you suggest, then?
That we be patient.
Anarchy.
No.
Okay. So you going into the pool wasn't effective. let me try this time.
Mordecai,
And
drown.
By all means. I'll look after Darlai.
Okay. And he is going to walk into the water and kind of throw himself into a deep spot.
Sure. You are bathed in cold, refreshing water.
Oh God, that's cold.
I find it refreshing.
Oh, I don't like the cold. Ah. Okay, that wasn't effective.
Fireball.
I am going to dive into the water and see if there's something that I can see down there.
Sure. Athletics.
Oh, joy. This is not my strong suit.
Strength is not your strong suit. That is correct.
No, not at all.
His only
Whoa.
weakness is his weakness.
One of many.
9.
Celine, your husband's kind of like, he's not drowning, but he's just kind of like floating at the surface and struggling like a like a floppy fish.
Mordecai. Mordecai, come on.
Am I able to move at all, or I'm still like cannot move at all?
You can twitch or flop about. You could probably use struggle, but you'll deal damage to yourself if you do.
How far away am I from the pool?
I don't know.
Probably a bit. We don't want you flopping.
Yeah,
into
you're.
the pool.
I don't think you're like
Am
at
I-
the edge, but
Am I within 15 feet?
I would say so.
yeah.
I'm gonna catch Mordecai. It's like,
Okay. Go ahead and roll a percentile.
You better not explode.
fireball.
I mean, you're lucky that. Oh, that's a strength save on my part, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Also,
9.
I pull you out of the water.
Norlai,
Yeah.
you blast Mordecai with magic missiles.
No.
You cast magic missile as a 5th level spell.
Oh no!
Well, it's not a fireball. Technically a fireball.
I'm just gonna point out this is a cantrip.
I completely understand. There are
Yeah,
circumstances
but you're also
for
super.
this.
You're super suffused with magic right now. So yeah, you're taking 21 lightning damage plus 5d4 plus 5 force damage. Hold on.
Isn't
No,
it more than that? Because it starts
It's more
at
than
3
that.
at level 1.
3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 7d4 plus 7.
I
It's
know,
12, 1 down level.
74.
Oh, look at all those
That's
green.
a lot of green numbers.
Yeah.
21 and
Save
28 is 49. Almost 50 damage.
So basically what happens is just Norlai sees Mordecai flailing and just like weakly reaches an arm out and just lightning blasts from her, grabs Mordecai, pulls him out, and then just he's just surrounded by other motes of lightning that hit him from the back and thus help him out of the water.
That's not gonna do any extra damage. It's fine.
And I'm wearing metal armor.
That doesn't matter.
And then-
Mordecai, you're that hurt.
I saved you.
And he's just kind of laying on the ground next to Norlai, kind of steam like fizzling up from his back. Like the
I
fringe of his
saved
feathers
you.
are a little toasted.
You not drown.
Toasty.
Rescued.
Oh, that hurt. That was not necessary.
I
Please
saved you.
don't murder my husband.
I was saving.
I have many years left to live. Please don't do that to me.
Yeah.
That's up for debate.
That's probably the most coherent thing that you've said today so far.
The monks who are watching this happen clap at the performance that is being put on.
Yes.
One is going to come up though and confess that she does not understand what's happening and would like to know what you're doing. Not an authoritative,
He
like
tried to
what are you
drown.
doing here? Like just I don't get this.
He tried to drown. I saved.
The
I
monk
did not try to drown.
Well, the monk looks at you, like, is sort of like bent over. She's looking at you with her head tilted in the face. Would you like to successfully drown? You apparently failed.
No.
What are
No,
you here
I'm
to
good. A friend of ours went into the pool and hasn't come back out yet.
do? Oh.
Right, drowned.
Why did she go into the pool?
drown, Norlai.
What was her purpose?
I don't know. She didn't really say. Did
Oh.
she?
The monk looks at you. I don't know. I'm asking you.
I was looking to Celine.
The monk's going to reply anyway.
She didn't say anything, did she?
No, not that I'm aware of.
We just came down from the top, and next thing we know, Bright went into the pool, and here we are standing here waiting for her to come back up.
Oh. Why did you go to the top?
For a moment of
Curiosity.
self-reflection.
Oh. Why did you need to reflect?
Many reasons. Reasons that if I sat here talking to you about them, we would be here for 100 years.
Is that why you came here?
We came here for many reasons, but that ended up being one of them. Something that we found.
Did you fulfill any of those reasons?
Not as of yet, no.
Why?
Because I don't think. Because this isn't a place to find answers. It's a place to find questions.
Well, yes. I suppose. Well, with your friend, or I believe your husband, here, he sought to drown and failed at that. I don't know.
I did not seek
What?
to drown.
You have to fulfill your
Save.
purpose. Why else do you
Save.
come here?
To find a purpose.
Mercury. That's why.
What's a Mercury?
Person.
A devil woman.
Evil.
Oh. So you came here seeking Mercury.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let us just say that she has a friend of ours captured and being kept hostage.
What
We're
have you done?
attempting to find her.
What have you done to look for her? Do you need help? She'll continue to bend over and lift a stone that's by the shore of the lake. Look underneath it. Well, she's not here. But I'll tell you what, there's another stone over there, and she goes and she lifts up another stone. I don't see her here. Huh, that's two places that she's not.
We
Places
will-
She's not.
Well, if you don't know where she is, then look at where she's not.
Not here.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places where she's not. I'm sure.
If you're sure, then why did you come here? Like she's like
Well-
now what? Just giving this distressed, almost arms
Because-
thrown up in the air.
Because we didn't find that out until we got here. but I suppose that's an interesting way to put it. You've actually given me quite a bit of insight. Thank you.
You're welcome, she asks.
Everyone here.
Because you're right, Mordecai. You don't know where she is, but I could definitely tell you where she's not.
She's not here.
You want to know where else she's not?
Oiho.
Yes, but you want to know where else?
The sky.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
quite
you're not-
obvious.
She has a point, though. In Oiho, Mercury's surroundings was kind of like in an orange haze, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where we go where we find the orange haze.
Volcano.
She might be at the volcano. We won't know till we look.
It's a place, but I mean, again, there's one place that I can tell you for a fact that she's not. Would you like to know what that place is? Would you like to know what that place is, Mordecai?
She's not under
please.
this rock.
No.
Safe.
Sorry, what?
I'll tell you where she's not. Safe.
She's not safe.
Safe isn't a place. Celine, you're not very smart.
Safe is a state of being, though.
And she's not there.
Honestly, you don't know that.
So we go someplace that's unsafe.
Volcano.
I mean, before we go anywhere, we need Bride. What?
Right, Dad.
She pulls herself out of the pool. Wherever she is.
Mordecai just kind of calls out to the water, Bright!
The monk looks over to you, Celine, and whispers, is he kind of touched in the head? As you see, like, the sun sparkling off the water, and Mordecai's just yelling, "Bright!" at the lake.
Celine kind of looks at that, and she's trying her best not to laugh.
But yes, he does look like a crazy person.
It may seem that way, but it's not. He's not. I assure you.
Oh. That might actually be of use. There's a lot of people who come here who don't think normally, and they do pretty well for themselves.
Right!
You just have to stop thinking and start unthinking? That's a good way.
No.
Right? Don't seek answers, ask questions. You came here for a purpose, fulfill it. Else why would you be here? What's the point of this place? As now this like initiate monk echoes the same question of revelation that even its leader Regal posed to you. While you are pondering up above, as above, so below.
I suppose.
Bright, we come back to you. You have,
Yay.
I'm sure there's many other spells that you could have cast, many new and
Oh,
wonderful
yes.
directions you could have traveled.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll try. I'll try all the directions, however many there are. 20, 25. I don't know. Not too many more than that, though. I don't want to get confused. And and after all, I can only count to 16 on my fingers and toes. So
For a
okay.
moment though, Bright, you swear it's 20 and not 16. There's like a flash, and
Huh. Man, that extra finger. How does everybody else deal with it? It's so weird looking. Just hanging off the side like that. What do you even use it for? Okay. Although it's true that gnomes, we have to cast our spells a little differently because we can't do the same somatic components. We have to. It's not harder. It's just a little different. You know? Okay, moving on. So the next thing I want to try is a scrying.
okay.
I'm gonna try several scryings. First thing I want to find out is how long it takes, because normally it's 10 minutes, but I'm hoping it won't take as long. The first thing I want to scry on is just me.
Yeah, you see yourself. In first person, in third person, simultaneously.
Cool. Okay. Well, that wasn't so bad. Now I want to try Mordecai.
Mordecai doesn't appear. A Mordecai appears, though it's almost like a silhouette of Mordecai. And so there's the shape of Mordecai, but you don't see any particular features. It would be very uncanny if there was another tiefling that carried itself as Mordecai does, or has some similar horns or tail, etc. But it's not him. It looks like
I can see about him. Or?
It looks like he's shouting. Like there's almost like a pose with hands up to mouth. You don't hear anything, and there's no other data, but there's just sort of this empty space that could be Mordecai.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, now I want to scry on the monastery as a whole.
You do not see the monastery, except for it is a silhouette of shapes on other shapes that are probably the monastery. It would be a very unique thing, or it'd be a very rare thing if something else were to look exactly like it. So you can't really confirm it is the monastery, but could it also really be anything else?
Okay, that's perfect. This is just great. I like these backwards outlines.
So
okay,
yeah, if you just take this and black it all out, I mean, you get all the lumps and the trees, but it's not the monastery. But it's also not the monastery.
Yeah. Now I want to try scrying on Mercury / not Mercury.
As your scrying goes forth, none of it is hindered by black tendrils. Although there are these silhouettes, but there's nothing especially menacing about the silhouettes. They don't pulse or move or crawl with, distended aberrations of the people or places that you're trying to see. It's just that you're kind of viewing them in the negative. But it's a very clear negative. And your mind goes out, and you do not get a not Mercury. So Mercury still seems to be even through this parallel, still doesn't seem to be able to be discovered.
That's too bad. Okay. Next thing I want to try is I want to try scrying on my old stomping grounds. They're not really stomping grounds because I couldn't do any stomping, but my old metaphorical stomping grounds in Oiho.
Okay. Oh, wouldn't you know? I had this slide. Just, man.
Well, that sure
Weird.
is convenient.
Yeah, that's super convenient.
Guys, Dan, I told you.
I'm not surprised.
It's this, but
'Cause
not. There are some things that are very familiar looking, though others not so much. The skyline in some places is not as you remember it, but not as you remember it. And overall, it is not Oiho that you are seeing. Though
That's good enough.
you get no indication of color of sky, but there are features that would make this place. You're fairly certain, to your eyes and other traditional senses, would fit what your concept of Oiho is.
It's unfortunate that I can't see the sky. Is the sky blacked out like everything else, or is it just not able to see it for some reason?
Roll an Arcana. Okay. 20. You're thinking about this, and you are not going about things the right way. You see a not Oiho, though there's nothing about a sky that is a part of that. So it might be its own. Like, you saw not Mordecai. In a traditional scrying sense, you probably would have seen the immediate area, the fact that he's, calling out to sparkling waters going bright.
Oh.
But you saw a not Mordecai just doing a hands to mouth. You are seeing a not Oiho, but nothing about not Oiho involves a sky or the coloration of it.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
So you're not finding what you're looking for.
Well, I'm really more just experimenting right now. I'm not really looking for anything in particular.
Well, that's good.
Although
because
if I
you'll
did see the sky.
Because you will find nothing if you were.
Exactly. But if I did happen to see the sky, I wouldn't complain. But I'm really just more in experimenting mode. Okay, I have one more scry that I want to scry.
Okay.
And that is I want to look for Jaden.
Okay.
I want to play Stump the DM.
You see not the sky. You get a black silhouette hemisphere.
Okay. That is an interesting result. It's unfortunate that I couldn't see any color, but you take what you can get. You're working with strange magic like this. Okay, well, that was all a lot of fun. Now the real question is there any way I can find to keep a connection? Oh, right, you wanted to, I had rolled a really good number to find out if there was a connection with Norali's wild magic, but you didn't answer.
There is no direct connection. Aside from the fact, I mean, you have a wellspring of magic here, and you could argue that Norali is a wellspring of magic. You weren't also shooting fireballs that you were not expecting to shoot. You can manifest them, and you could shoot 100 fireballs, all at the same time if you really wanted to. But it's not an unknown or uncontrolled leak.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder if there's any way to bring a connection to this place or a piece of this place back with me. Because I don't just want to go home. I mean, I kind of want to go home. But
you can
I
bring
hate to
nothing
just
back
leave
with
this
you.
Behind. Yeah, that's... I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, though, right?
You're succeeding.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, well, I guess I hate to go home too soon, but I also hate to stay here too long. So we're going to try to go home. First thing we're going to try is a plane shift. That is a spell that I know but do not have prepared.
Okay. You don't move. The spell goes off, and maybe for the briefest of moments, you aren't there, but you weren't there to notice that you weren't there. But now that you are, you know that you're here. So something may have shifted.
Okay. Okay. Well, option 1 didn't work. Let's try option 2. Option 2 is etherealness.
Okay. The, as your spell goes off, what is white is black and what's black is white? You are in the negative.
That's kind of fun. Okay. Oh, I don't have my my negative color filter that I used back for
oh, right.
first Halloween episode. I don't have that set up right now.
However, there's no tendrils, even though you're ethereal.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm not surprised, because we've already established that tendrils don't happen here. Okay.
Well, yeah, but are you really in the same here that you were before you cast the spell and after?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Because the here that I'm talking about is the here in the sense of the way the world works, not the place. Because this isn't a real place, right? I mean, it's not really a real place. I mean, as fun as it would be if we had all these extra directions, we don't. Not back home. So, yeah. Okay. All right. This is what I was hoping not to do. But we're gonna try it.
Okay.
Option 3 is anti-magic field.
Sure. There's not magic around you.
Kaboom! Okay. What happened? Did anything happen, or am I still here?
You're here. There's just no magic.
Well, that's not very fun. So, that's interesting, because everything that was here is magic. So, what's here? Is it nothing?
What would be a good way to describe this? It is a something of nothing. There's actual nothingness, not nothing.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
All right. Well, trying to establish the nature of the nothing is what I've been working on here, so I'm not actually unhappy with that result, although it didn't send me home, which is kind of what I was hoping for. Okay. Well, now we're going to have to actually figure it out. instead of just being able to just go home because we wanted to. I guess that makes sense because we're not really in a... I don't know. I thought anti-magic field would get me out of here. Okay. I'm gonna see. Let me see.
It brought
I'm gonna check
here
the
to
roll.
you, is what it did.
Yeah. Okay. 2. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna turn the anti-magic field back off.
Okay, loop.
Okay. That was less fun than I hoped it would be.
You are hoping for everything to explode?
I was hoping to go home. I didn't go home. Okay.
Well, you sure are surrounded by a whole lot of nothing right now.
I know. And I know that I need... If there was somebody else here, I'd give them nothing. But there's nobody here.
Yeah.
You could discard it to the wind.
I mean... I'm gonna cast Conjure Minor Elementals.
Okay.
I'm not particular about what elemental I conjure. Preferably one I could interact with, so maybe it's like earth elementals of some type.
Okay. Your concept of an earth elemental manifests in front of you.
Hello, can you hear me? Or did I just get like a concept, like an imagination of one, but not a real one?
You have conjured your concept of an earth elemental. You're talking to it. It doesn't answer.
My concept of an earth elemental includes being able to talk to it.
Yeah, you are. I'm not saying you can't.
But it also includes it being able to understand and reply. Okay. So, do you see all this stuff that's around us? You probably can't actually see the stuff that's around us. But do you see the stuff that's around us that isn't really stuff?
There's a gesture of like looking around. Though it may not have eyes.
Okay.
It's doing something.
Okay. So as the official only other person in this place, I am giving it to you as a gift.
Just stands there.
Well, hurry up and take it. Fine. Go away. I end my spell.
Okay. Arcana.
Okay. 28. Because I have advantage because of my foresight.
Yeah. This manifestation is an extension of you. And so you were ordering yourself to do things and you could do it. But you're not offering yourself anything new. You're sort of shaking your own hand as this is your magic, an extension of who you are. It really only could do the things that you asked of it. You're the originator and the end of that creature.
Okay. So it works just like the Contact Other Plane and the Oiho maze.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And the Oiho maze. That's really upsetting. Okay. Do you want to go cut over to the other people for a while?
Yep, I can certainly do so. All right, let's cut back over. Now, for those of you who are above this pond, it has been probably 2 hours. At
I
this
better
point.
know.
You are just normal drunk, Noralai.
Normal drunk. Got it.
I still would not recommend casting a bunch of magic, but that's your
I'm
call.
gonna cast fireball.
No.
I don't have that. Does this count as a short rest so Mordecai can get his health points back?
I am gonna say this is more of a tense situation. I don't think this is short rest quality downtime.
No, he's been kind of pacing back and forth.
I have an idea.
An idea?
It does include casting a spell.
Celine takes
What
several steps back.
spell?
A very powerful spell.
Which spell?
A very powerful spell.
Noralai, I'm asking you a direct question. Which spell?
It's been 2 hours.
No.
You guys said like 2 minutes.
No. That's a bad idea.
I think it calls for it.
No. Yes,
What
actually,
spell?
she has actually stated her last name in front of Celine before. That happened when she came back and kind of reawakened as to how she is now. Celine says, "Normal, I am a sight. Do not, under any fucking circumstance, invoke wish." I will use L1 for that.
But I could.
A wish?
Yeah, that's how I got my brother back, and like I could use it to get right back.
Do not, under any circumstances, invoke that spell.
But I could.
Let Bright figure whatever's going on out. She's probably just in a reflection somewhere.
It's been like 2 hours though.
Yeah,
I'm
and your
starting to
brother
get
still
worried.
isn't here.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better to have Bright back when he gets here?
She'll be able to get out of there on her own.
Are you
Will
sure
she?
about that?
Yes,
It's been 2 hours.
it has been
I'm
2
starting to get
hours.
worried.
And you're still, you know,
I'm still
jumbled.
what?
Jumbled.
No, I am perfectly fine.
The monk who is
There's
talking to
nothing
you
else.
has gone off to find others, and now there's about a dozen other monks who are turning over different stones in this on the shoreline of the small lake here.
They
Reporting
do
back.
realize that we're looking for a person, right? Persons don't live under stones.
A couple of the monks look at you, Noralai, quizzically, and then simply make a broad sweeping gesture to the mountain. And the fact that, well, you probably don't pick that up. But, Celine, most of the buildings here are made of stone. Therefore, people are in fact living in and under stones. And there's that whole part of the mountain that you had to climb, thereby putting them under stone as well, in a sense. Now, Noralai, I don't expect you to pick up on that, but you do have some monks looking at you like you're absolutely, like, dumb, and they're just making a vague, a vague gesture to all of the buildings and the rest of the mountain that's here.
She's going through an experience. Give her some slack.
You're going through an experience.
To be
We're all
fair,
going through
Celine,
an experience.
I did the same thing to get us away from Weejas.
Yeah, so
That's
like
what happened
it
in
worked.
Yeah, because the luck blade had a wish in it or something. And so I wished for us to go home.
Yeah, so I could just, for Bright to be back.
Yes, but isn't that what caused Norelai to be exceptionally, floppy?
Fine. I just couldn't lift anything. I didn't do that anyways. I always made Mordecai carry things.
And
I'm not exactly exceptionally strong either.
And you atrophied your
Yeah,
magic
but you're
circuits.
taller than me.
You caused considerable bodily damage to yourself. Remember, I was the one who checked you over.
Yeah, but now. And you're here. So we could just do it again.
No.
Why not?
Because that is not an excuse.
But it would get Bright back.
Would it?
Yeah.
Not
It
necessarily.
got you and Mordecai back. It got my brother back. Why wouldn't it get her back?
Because of the... also, when we came back from that, remember that we were missing body parts?
No, I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah, we
there. You
were.
didn't mention that.
Yeah, no, we were missing body parts.
Well, that's your fault.
No!
That's what it
My
costs.
brother came back in one piece.
Yeah, and I'd rather not pay such a steep price. So be patient! Bright is a smart girl
It's
who can get
been
herself
2
out of this problem.
hours. You know what we could have done in 2 hours?
I thought I was
Literally
the
anything.
patient.
Oh, it's been 2 hours. 2 hours on the top of this mountain, waiting for your brother to show up with the Repentless. So what would we
Yeah,
have done?
but we don't know. Looked under stones instead of sitting here.
We were sitting here watching your drunken ass.
Yes.
I'm not drunk. I haven't drunken a thing. I haven't even had water today. By the way, I wanted tea. Someone should have made me tea.
You sound intoxicated, Darlai.
Well, too bad I'm not. I don't know if you realize this, but to be intoxicated, you have to consume toxic things, which I have done none of.
Apparently not, considering you're slurring your words after someone 12 steins of very strong ale in.
I've been there.
Listen,
Norlai, a monk comes over to you and offers you a hand to help you up.
Oh. I take the hand and stand up.
She helps you up, and she moves behind you and takes your arms and lifts them out to both sides of your body.
So I T-pose.
You have achieved what you've desired now. Do you feel better for it?
Celine bursts into laughter.
You know
I'm not
what
sure.
food is, right?
Yes.
You know what food and drink is?
Yes.
Do you know the beverage tea?
Yes.
That is what I asked for.
No, you asked for tea. You didn't specify what you wanted. And now you're getting exactly what you asked for.
I'm gonna throw something at you.
You'll likely miss given your level of intoxication.
Why have
I'm
you all
gonna
come
cast
here
Mage Hand to
with
throw
all
the
of these
stone.
desires and rejecting every satisfaction of them?
Look.
I cast Mage Hand.
She's gonna... Just before that, Celine's gonna turn to the monk and ask, I want you to let her go and see what happens.
Casting Mage Hand.
Okay. Mage hand is cast.
I'm gonna use it to grab a stone and chuck it at Celine.
Sure. Celine, a stone chucked with all the force of like a 5-pound force. Sort of like
10 pounds of force.
like plaps against your chest and just sort of tumbles down.
See, I told you I'd do something, and I did. You didn't believe me. You didn't think I would.
If you could just let her go and see what happens.
The monk is already backed away.
Yeah, is Norla standing on her own, or is she about to hit the floor like a ton of bricks?
I don't know if she's caught out of her T-pose, really. All she said is she's casting Mage Hand, and that's...
Which is a verbal component. Believe so.
And a somatic.
Oh no, it is.
There's
somatic.
a somatic, but like a little hand gesture doesn't mean that you've gotten out of your T-pose.
You know, the somatic component was a tail flick.
Okay, well then,
I remain in my T-pose.
there you go.
I'm just asking to see if she has enough coordination to stand on her own 2 feet at the moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She is standing there.
Stay.
A tail flick sent a stone weakly plapping off of your chest, and it just sort of tumbles on the ground. The monks are just
Mordecai just gently nudges Norlai with a bit of a shove.
Mm-hmm.
See if she can balance herself.
Okay.
Is there a check I should make for this?
Make a dex save. Disadvantage because you are still inebriated.
Oh no! How dare you!
That goes to a red
How dare
number.
you disadvantage me?
So she does stumble. Like she does have to get out of her T-pose.
You're not drunkenly casting a wish.
I fall on my butt.
The monk looks
So
at you.
Mordecai shoved me.
Do you feel satisfied?
No, he shoved me.
The monk looks at
I'm
you, Mordecai.
satisfied.
Are you satisfied accomplishing what you wanted to do?
I am satisfied accomplishing what I had set out to do.
Oh, then
In that
congratulations. Finally, someone of you has accomplished something and felt good about it.
Yeah,
Was that your reason for coming here, though? It very well may have
absolutely
been.
not.
Oh. So, ultimately, you were unsatisfied.
Well, I can't say that either. I've not found what I'm looking for, but I've found a lot of other things that may or may not help in that search. So... I'm
I
getting
would like
about as
to-
impatient as Norlai is, though, about Bright not coming out.
Mordecai, there's a ringing in your ears as a sending is coming through, and it is DJ telling you that Loki is finally aboard the Repentless, and they are preparing to leave the city.
Preparing to leave the city. Okay. Alright.
While Mordecai's thinking, he pushed me, so I want to push him. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna cast Thunderwave.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Sure.
She's going to kill Mordecai.
Give me a percentile with that, please. And a 54 to blend in. You are immune to being intoxicated by alcohol. Oh my goodness. Once more, Norlai drunkenly casts magic, channeling this raw battery of magic this mountain is. Mordecai, you are...
I am blown back.
You are
15
blown
feet.
back, and Norlai once more collapses into an incoherent pile of twitching muscles as her body is leaking magic. Like it's almost like just radiating off of her, like spilling out of her ears and mouth as you know, like saliva or whatever else. But yeah, she.
Mordecai's pretty bloodied right now.
No, any push me.
Meanwhile, back in a very
Mordecai's
peaceful place.
bloodied.
It's thunder damage. It wouldn't cause blood. Just a lot of bruising.
He may have like slammed up against a tree. He's got broken ribs now. Coughing blood.
You should test yourself.
You should.
I apologize.
Bright, through your experiments, I mean, you have access to magic, although it's working differently. Though there's no there's no exit. Going up doesn't get you any further up to a surface of a lake. No more than going down would seem to plunge you further into its depths. Magic acts as it has been. What are you thinking or doing in this regard? It's you. Even your magic is simply more of you to an extent.
Yeah.
Make you not you. That's all I can suggest.
Out of character, I think I need a break.
Okay. The wave hits Mordecai. Mordecai is floundering. Norelai collapses up above. The monks are doing what they're doing. And Celine, this puts you in a... you're in a very interesting place now between wherever and whatever Bright is, and now the worsening conditions up above. It is at least hours until the Repentless might be able to make a direct line here from the city.
Well, everything's getting worse. Alright. We're just gonna have to sit here and wait for the time being. There's not really anything else that we can do, although Mordecai now needs help, so I'm going to go ahead and heal him. So that Norelai stops beating him up.
Yeah, this is what it's like to have a magic sister, I think.
Take a heal.
Whoa. That is a big one. Okay. I'm fully healed.
Celine, with that, though, you feel a lot of yourself depleted. While Mordecai's injuries have healed, you are feeling empty and weak.
You really should just resort to that when it's necessary. You could have waited it out.
I'll just shut up, okay?
What we'll do, let's do this. Mordecai is stable. You are having to do some thinking, and why don't we get up and take a quick break and come back, and we'll see where this is going. So everyone, about 10 minutes or so, get a snack or a drink as you may need to. Enjoy the break screen, as that is also the work of Macabre Derek, and we'll come back and see what's happening as the party is figuring out what is going on.